Tom, this is Wells. I want you to know that I'm okay.
That was a September 11, 2001 voicemail from Wells Crowther, a 24-year-old equities trader who saved at least 18 lives in the South Tower on that fateful day. He came to be known as the man in the red bandana, and we'll get to that story in a moment. Wells was a Boston College lacrosse player and a former volunteer firefighter who could have escaped that day, but after helping others evacuate the World Trade Center, he went back into the building with the fire department to bring the jaws of life to elevators whose doors were melted shut. Shortly afterward, the South Tower collapsed. That voicemail you just heard was left for our next guest. His mother, Alison Crowther, joins us now. Alison, thank you so much for being with us. A difficult day. As we continue to commemorate this tragedy. 20 years later, his story is known all over the world now. He was a volunteer fireman. He got the red bandana from his dad, who was also a volunteer fireman when he was 6 years old. Talk to us about Wells.
Well, there's so much to say. I could go on for hours. He was a wonderful soul, even from the time he was a little boy. He was very adventurous, very courageous, fearless almost, would jump from the highest places, ran out between parked cars to save his 3-year-old sister, who was a flight risk, to keep her from running out into the main street. He had a wonderful imagination, sense of humor. He just was a wonderful person.
That day, he appeared almost like a hero out of a comic book to these folks that were stranded high up in the World Trade Center. Talk to us about what some of the survivors told you about his acts that day.
Well, there were 2 women that I spoke to early on, Ling Young and Judy Ween. They said that if it wasn't for Wells, they wouldn't be alive. He appeared out of nowhere through the smoke and the debris, calling out commands. You know, there are people here you can help, there are people here you cannot help. Only help the ones you can help. Get up and follow me now. And Ling Young said it was something in his voice that made them have faith in his commands and his directions, so that's why they followed him.
And then he did that, then he did it again. Then he came down and he went with the fire department, took the jaws of life, went back up into the towers, and they collapsed and he went missing. You had people searching local hospitals for months. You were checking the backgrounds of the newscasts. And then you saw a minute-by-minute account in the New York Times of that day. And what did you learn?
Well, I learned what happened to Wells. It was a miracle. Something was driving me from the beginning to keep looking, keep searching. Somehow I would find something about Wells. It was, you know, kind of an act of faith, I guess. It was a hopeless task, one would think, but then suddenly I was reading the article, Fighting to Live as the Towers Died. That was the big piece in the New York Times the following Memorial weekend, and he had been in his office before 9 o'clock, confirmed by phone calls with some friends, yet he was found at the ground level with the firefighters. They'd actually been blown as a group up across the plaza and up against the wall of 4 World Trade Center. That's where they fell together. But I knew he'd had to get down, so he had to have been in the sky lobby area about the time the plane hit. And sure enough, I read the article, and that's when Ling Young and Judy Ween both mentioned this mysterious man wearing a red bandana. As soon as I saw that reference to the red bandana, I knew it was Wells. And I said, Wells, I've found you. I had a sense of great relief and almost joy for him that he was able to spend his final hours the way he wanted, his final hour the way he wanted to, that he wasn't trapped in suffering like so many people.
You have a foundation now in his name that's helping to build the next generation of American leaders, maybe the next generation of American heroes. Talk to us a little bit about what you're doing there.
Well, thank you. That's so kind. Yes, we founded the Wells Crowther Charitable Trust in 2001. We started collecting money that was just being sent to us from people we didn't even know. And so our first idea was to form scholarships, but his young friends were doing so much to raise money we were able to expand our work, and now Boston College hosts, they're just wonderful, so supportive of Wells' story. They host a Red Bandana Run every year, which is our biggest single fundraiser.
Wow.
And it's virtual now, so people all across the country can participate if they wish. So we support other organizations that are dedicated to improving young people, the character of young people.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, a number of years ago, the Fetzer Institute, based in Kalamazoo, Michigan, gave us a grant to develop the Red Bandana Project, which is a series of lessons on social and emotional learning, on leadership, caring for others, team, the power of one, bridging divides, forgiveness, and carpe diem. And
Wow.
so the lessons are there, and I follow that, those subjects when I go out and speak.
Our prayers are with you and your family on this difficult day, but thank you for sharing your son, not only with us here, but with the world, and that's really what he ended up doing. So, Alison Crowther, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tom. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.